Someone tell me who gon' fix the world, who gon' make it work, who gon' get the people lives that they deserve.
What's up, it's your boy MD, Hustle MD, aka Dr. G. Welcome to another episode of the Med Hustle Podcast. It's Friday, I just got home. There's an epidemic / pandemic that's not getting talked about. And just from my perspective as a resident, I will tell you that there is a massive, enormous, huge mental health crisis in this country, and I'm sure globally. Most of my patients have active, untreated psychological problems, and I'm not even a psych resident. Tells you that I'm getting the overflow because every single psych bed in the state is full. The psych wards aren't taking patients, it's full. That's where we're at right now. This is not being talked about because the media talks about who's tweeting what. But I don't care about the media. I'm here to tell you what I see a day in the life of an internal medicine resident. We're seeing cases, people are coming to the hospital for outrageous cases. Patients who are suicidal, patients whose family brings them in because they go visit them and they got cockroaches and rats and hoarding and just filth, and they pass out from their own filth. Patients who are swallowing inanimate objects because they're afraid to go back home, and they swallow objects so they have an excuse to stay in the hospital. Patients who brought a bag of medicines with them. When the nurse turns her back, they take their meds, and then the nurse gives them their meds from the hospital, and then they're trying to overdose. Patients who hang themselves but survive and then run away from the hospital, and we have to call Code Purple. Code Purple has become a common phenomenon where I'm at. Code Purple means get security for the patient. I got patients who tell me they don't feel safe at home, patients who tell me their kids are doing meth in the basement, patients who tell me they need 60 milligrams of Adderall and they need 10 of Ambien at night to sleep, with sleeping aids and Xannies and all that. This is a crisis. Patients who tell me, oh, I don't have access to psychiatry because they're booked until February 2021, 2 months out, and they're going crazy. What am I supposed to do? What is there to be done? Why are people going crazy? Obviously, COVID has contributed to this, but pre-COVID, people were hanging on a thin line, teetering. They were being saved by going out, calming down, seeing stuff, going to the supermarket, things like that, having family see them. The geriatric population is under attack by their own brains. I'm saying this because there is something that needs to be solved, and it's not giving more psych meds. In my opinion, the entire infrastructure of mental health has to be demolished from head to toe, then restarted over. I do not think we have a good solution for our mental health crisis. I do not think that patients always benefit from seeing a psychiatrist. Now, this may sound controversial, but if you see what I see, you will understand. Typically in med school, they teach us, hey, they need cognitive behavioral therapy. They need counseling in addition to their meds. Very, very few patients get counseling. If a patient tells me they can't see a psychiatrist for another 3 months, that tells me that when they see the psychiatrist, you think they're going to have time to counsel them? They're going to refill their meds, refill their SSRIs, refill their Adderall, refill their sleeping agents, refill their benzos, see you in 6 months. That's what's happening. And I don't blame the psychiatric clinicians because they're burdened. They're overburdened. What are they going to do? I know people who went into psychiatry and they were innocent enough to believe that when they were in med school they'd be counseling patients, not the case hunting. We are under the rules of the healthcare industrial complex that is running the show in bed with the pharmaceutical industrial complex. These are two separate entities that they're massive, and it's very difficult to distill to their roots. It's such a complex machine, a very complex machine. They churn in and out trainees, they churn in and out clinicians, and they're squeezing money out of the entire population at the cost of well-being, at the cost of mental health. The whole mental health wheel is causing a mental health crisis the way it operates. I can break this down in further episodes. I just want to tell you right now, things are not looking too hot for mental health in the United States. And I would love to hear from people who are actually in the psychiatric field. Drop a comment. Let me know what you're seeing, because I'm seeing a lot of overflow. I got a list of 10 patients. 9 of them have active psych issues that I got to manage, and they're unmanaged. So you tell me what's going on. I'm not hating on anybody. I want the best for my patients. These patients, they tell me their psych problems. It tells me we have no solid nuclear family structure. The nuclear family has been disseminated. We have no solid resources. But when someone's in the hospital, you know, we got all these social workers and case managers and call this hotline, call that. But it's very scattered, very unstructured, very unprotected. My patient who has blood sugars of 450 and they got a stroke from high blood pressure. Their blood pressure was 250. They got a stroke. Their blood sugar was 450. They had a blood glucose monitor, but the person's blind, so they can't even read it. And we discharged this patient and told him to follow up with a primary care doc. He said, I don't have a primary care doc. So I called the social worker. I'm like, he needs a primary care doc. They're like, yeah, we put in a referral, but it might not be for until 4 months because they're backed up. So this guy just had a stroke. He's not going to see a primary care physician for 4 months. And what do you think is going to happen? And, oh yeah, they're suicidal, and they don't feel safe at home, and they need psych meds, so they need counseling. They're out in the streets for 4 months. What can I do? So everything I did, I probably did a $10,000 workup for what? It's not even about the money. It's just so sad to see these people just be tossed in the dirt. The conclusion of everything I'm saying, focus on your family. Focus on building a healthy family. The rest falls into place. Everybody wants to fix this, fix that. Let me go lobby in D.C. Let me go join this company to fix a certain system. No. Fix your family, because all these people that are high up and they overwork themselves, they commit suicide. They were never there for their kids because they're overworked, because the system enslaved them. Their family deteriorates. Then that kid whose parents committed suicide is now going to be crazy and not have guidance, and then they're going to hang out with the wrong people, start doing drugs, start having kids without wanting to, and then those kids, and we're doing generational Groundhog Day of madness. Focus on building a healthy, well, safe family. Then you can focus on making that family strong enough to be emotionally apt to support their community. You get healthy kids, healthy wife, healthy yourself, support each other, become contributors to your little community, uplift your community, uplift the schools, uplift the libraries, uplift your spiritual centers, whatever it is. Work together. Then you protect your community, decrease the homelessness, decrease the crime rate. Then you keep expanding that network. And it just has to be that way. How we're going to take care of this healthcare system, we have to take care of ourselves. We can't be just coming in treating diabetes when it's time to get an amputation. I got a patient who needs an amputation because of an untreated diabetic wound because they don't have access to insulin, but now they can't get the surgery for another 2 weeks because they got COVID. So they're just sitting with an infection with COVID and an infected wound, and they're going for an amputation. They're sitting there scared by themselves. No one can visit them. You don't think there's going to be messed up? It's crazy. That's one side. How much does this... We can only give so much. We're drained. Everybody has their own problems, but it's all good. Imagine how the behind the scenes looks and what you see on the news does not correlate. But I just want to tell everybody, protect your mentation, protect yourself, look out for your family, the rest falls in place. Try to take care of yourself, take care of your family, the rest will fall in place. And anybody who needs support, reach out. I try to support as much as I can, and that's what I do this for, to shed some light and to give hope for people. I don't want to paint a dim picture. There's a lot of good things that are happening, but it is a time of distress for the medical community. And I just want to tell anyone who's pre-med, med school, whatever you are, trying to get into residency, push through it. This is hard times. You learn from pain. Pain equals growth. Remember that. That's what gets you through. Never fold. Don't snap. Always be a giver. If you see someone suffering or stressed, give your love and empathy. Tell a patient you love them. See what happens. They feel so good about it. Try it out. Be a giver. When you need help, ask for it. It's okay. I'm here for you. MD Hustle, Hustle MD, Dr. G. Anything you need, hit me up. Peace.